All right. Let's rock and roll, guys. First of all, happy Tuesday. Thank you guys for taking the time to making the call. So listen, this is a little bit of an education process right now. First, if you're not winning in your business, it ain't nobody's fault but your own. Everybody understands. I think everybody agrees with that. We take that as a responsibility. First of all, next thing is all businesses have shit. All businesses have shit. Okay. I was doing some research today, or actually yesterday, and then followed up with today about scaling a company and how do I get, because the biggest I ever got is 7 million. How do I get from 7 million to 70 million? What do I not know that I need to get there? And you guys know who Warren Buffett is. Okay. Warren Buffett made last year $500 million off his stocks that he owns in the Coca-Cola company. $500 million. Okay. The CEO made $50 million. So think about that. It's a huge difference in money right there. The guy running the company and the guy who's just an investor. Who's spending more time? The CEO is spending more time on the company. Warren Buffett don't do nothing, right? Now, he's probably got a little bit of influence, I'm sure, but the reality is we're going to talk about how we leverage that type of stuff, right? So, one, guys, get pen and paper, write this down. We're going to start kind of top line. And real quick, Cameron's dropping the link for the Dover event. The best train the most. You want to do the numbers my business did? My people train 5 days a week, not once a week, not twice a week, not 3 times a week. We met 5 days a week. We trained all the time. You guys are losing because you're scared to actually push on your people. What if they quit? Don't be a business owner if you're going to be a little bitch, because everybody's going to quit you. Okay. I need Cameron to quit one day because he either needs to get bigger or I'm going to get too big for him. Okay. Just understand. You don't think people quit Microsoft every day? So you guys have to understand, don't be afraid. I can't find staff. You can't find staff because you're not doing things big enough to attract people to come to you. All right. We'll get to that in another thing. And if you get pissed off when I talk to you, good. Hopefully it motivates you or makes you want to give up one or the other. Okay. So here we go. Love is a fuel. Love is a fuel. Okay. Love is a fuel to chase your dreams and your goals. So what is love? How do you define that? I'm going through some one-on-one counseling right now on faith. Starts on Monday. And today we had like just an interaction through phone call, kind of start the conversation. First time in my life, I feel like I'm confident enough to ask questions about things I was taught as a kid, right? You grow up in the South, you're taught certain things about religion. You can't ask questions. You ask a question. This is what you're supposed to be, this is what you're supposed to be taught, learn, keep it going. Don't ask questions, sit in the corner. So I'm asking questions. I'm curious about what I believe and what I don't believe. Okay. Well, love and faith to me are about the same. Go try to prove to me God exists. You can't do it. I'm a believer, but you can't prove it to me. Go try to tell me that you love somebody and prove it. Oh, but I did this, and this. Okay. That might not be love. That might be a relationship where you did something for them, they did something for you. Shit, that's how most marriages work, right? So understand, love, however you define it, is fuel. Okay. When my daughter gives me a hug or whispers something in my ear, my heart does something. And for us who are parents, that's a different kind of love than the one you have for your spouse. It is different. It's just true. Okay. What I would be willing to do for her is way different than I would do for Travis. I love Travis. I'd get in a fight for Travis. I'd help Travis out, let him sleep in my house, live here, whatever. But shit, I ain't gonna die for the man, probably. All right. I love him, but I don't love him like that. Okay. So just everybody has to know where that it is. It's a fuel to chase your dreams and your goals. So what is love? How do you personally experience it? These are questions that the reason I'm telling you guys, this is stuff I'm going through and I'm trying to share with you that I feel like in my life, I've not really accomplished all the things I'm trying to accomplish. And I'm a student of life, right? That's what entrepreneurship's about. It's really knowing yourself. And then we're going to use the word leverage here in a minute, how we do that. Okay. So how do you experience and feel love? Is it touch? Is it words? Is it commitment? Is it service? Is it actions? Everybody experiences that a little bit differently. So how does this apply to a business? If your tank's empty, if you feel unfulfilled, if you feel unloved, if you feel like you're chasing a dream for someone else, it's going to crumble. It's going to crumble. So what is love to you? How do you experience it? And how is the business that you are operating, hopefully you're operating it, serving that level of tank? Because we always think love has to come from a person. Your business should be pouring into that tank as well too. Okay. And by the way, when you focus on the sales, the money, and not anything else besides that, you'll eventually crumble. You might even be rich. Emotionally, you'll be poor. And I think probably everybody here knows some people that have a lot of money, but they're miserable, right? And that's not what I would want to become. I want to win in every bucket, okay? So, question, if you had no restrictions, none, no money, no time, what would you go chase and why? What would it be? Why? And no one can answer this but you. Sometimes you're scared to answer it, okay? So, if you had no restrictions, it's not a money restriction, a relationship restriction, resource, what would you go do? Okay. Why would you do it? Then you need to ask yourself, why are you not doing it? So the person who's going to be counseling me on faith, 2 weeks ago, I took to dinner, him and his wife. And this guy's super smart when it comes to the level of education he has. And I asked him this question. Hey, if you had no restriction, because this guy doesn't make a lot of money, guys, obviously. Some pastors make a lot of money, but not at my church, okay? So they even told us the other day, like, Cameron was sitting in the meeting with me, and they started talking about money at this church. They're like, hey, well, we set our budget based on what we got last year. I'm like, okay, can we 10x this thing? But I'm not overstepping yet. But here we go. If he had no restrictions, this is what I said, and asked him a question. And then he told me his dream. He was honest. You could tell when somebody's honest with you guys, right? Like if you ask somebody that question, you can tell when somebody's honest with you. So then I asked, why are you not doing that? And you know what came next? Anybody know what came next? All the reasons why, yeah, all those excuses. He didn't call them excuses, by the way. Oh, and they were valid. They were valid, like most excuses. He has family in the area because he's going to have to move to take the job he wants. There's only 5 or 6 openings in the country for what he wants to do. There's a lot of political warfare that goes on to get that job. He doesn't want to get his hands dirty. Family, like I said, is close by. His kids are young. Blah, 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 blah. So in his mind, he's trading the idea that, well, I'm sacrificing the big dream to be happy enough to provide for this over here. Well, guys, I think everybody here knows that life is short. You're not promised tomorrow. And if you live other people's dreams, even if you convince yourself it's going to make you happy, eventually you won't be happy. So I'm going to ask that question again. If you had no restrictions, what would you chase? Why? And then why are you not doing it? Okay. Next, when you measure wealth, I'm giving you guys a lot of content today, so I hope you guys hear this really clearly. And for the clients who don't make the calls, like Cameron's recording this, we're not going to post anywhere. I record them for me, right? Because my thing is, if you can't show up and discipline yourself, oh, I got to work. Well, there's a problem. And we'll get to that problem in a minute. But when you're chasing life and you're trying to win financially, what about your health? Like who in this game right now is winning the health relationship? How many of you guys are winning the influence and relationship bucket of wealth? Like there's multiple forms of wealth, not just money. Money's just one form of wealth, okay? So here we go, continuing this message. What cycle are you in right now inside your business? Are you constantly having the same problem? You're running out of money before the month runs out. Today's the 15th, you're running out of money already, or maybe you ran out 5 days ago and you got the problem last month. You had the problem a month before that. When you're in that cycle, apparently it's not painful enough, because I think the definition of insanity, right? So what cycle are you in? Because everybody on this call has something you do personally and professionally that's predictable. There's somewhere you self-sabotage. You have a certain level of success, you get rid of it. You never have success because you keep having the same problems, and you can only band-aid it. And I talk to you guys on a regular basis, so I know everybody falls in that category right now. You're in some cycle. Why are you repeating it? Have you stopped, paused, and like, hey, why am I running out of money before the month runs out? Where am I starting wrong? Where am I not having enough standards? Where am I not pushing on my people? Why am I not asking the right quality questions? Why do I keep asking the same questions? So we're going to switch the conversation to leverage. When you run a business, most small business owners in America do not own a business, they own a job. That's okay. A lot of you guys on this call actually don't own a business, you own a job. And that's okay. All right. Yul, who's on this call right now, he theoretically, even though he's doing better than he's ever done in his life, he still owns a job right now. He's trying to become a business owner. But he owned a job a year ago, making a couple thousand a month, right? His business was doing 9,000, 10,000. Now he's averaging $30,000 months. He's doing financially better, but theoretically right now, he still owns a job. If he left his company for 6 months, the company fails to exist, okay? I right now own a job. I'm working on the exit of this company so I can do other things. But that's got to be an intentional thing. It cannot happen by accident or being forced to. So a lot of times, the business owner has tricked themselves to believe they own a business. Then the next trick they tell themselves, the excuse is, well, I can't afford to hire someone. I don't have the money. Okay. But employees do not cost you money. If I hire Travis and pay him $3,000 a month, of course, he might take 30 days or 60 days to get his bearings if it's new. But his $3,000 of expenditure into him, my investment, should bring me a $15,000 return pretty quick, 45 days or less. If I'm going to, and I'll get to the leverage part, if I'm really going to be committed to bringing him onto the team. Because if I pay him $3,000 and I make the same amount of money, then something's not right. And it's probably not my fault, not his fault. I'm not pushing, training, educating, creating structure, systems, and process for him to be leverage. So what is leverage, guys? If anybody's ever lifted weights before, get on the pulley machine, right? I think everybody understands the fulcrum and how leverage works. In business, your leverage is you either trade, we all do it, we trade time for money. We trade time for money. We spend time every single day, every single second. All of us right now are spending time right now, but we're not all making money for investment. So we all have the same 24 hours. You guys have all heard this before. So how does some people do more? If Michael Reed and I get on the phone right now, somebody gives us the exact same list, 100 people, 100 people. He calls, I call. We spend the same amount of time calling these people. Okay. Who's going to win is going to be whoever has the best offer. We got the same people. We got the same, we do it over the same amount of time. If I got the better offer, I'm going to win. But how about the guy who makes 0 calls, not 100 calls? That's the guy who's going to win, because he's going to have 15 people that work under him that all call 100 people with the better offer. Michael, as one guy calls 100 people, my team just called 1,500. Whose company's going to win? Oh, but Aaron, they cost you money. Okay. If we call 100 people and sell 20, Michael owns the company. He calls, he makes 20 grand. My guys call, they make 300,000. Okay. And I pay them 50K. Shit, I won big time. Michael made his 20. I got 250. It's going to take him a year to do what I did in the same amount of time. Is everybody with me? That's how leverage works. So if you are having the same cycle in your business, and today's Tuesday, and I'm behind, I'm at $7,000 for the month. Tomorrow morning, everybody shows up right now at 9 a.m. and we don't leave. Oh, I can't work 12 hours. I can't come in tomorrow. Okay. Thank you for letting me know tomorrow's your last day. Oh, I can't do that, Aaron. That's too mean of a boss. Then you should shut your business down. You guys got to get intentional about being an operator. Businesses are for profit. They're not nonprofits. And that's the cycle of marketing, advertising, 2 separate conversations. Where are you doing this? Product and service. How good is it? Are you improving it? I would venture to bet not a single owner on this call with intent, purpose-driven, went to a staff member today, to your team, and spent 45 minutes training them, not telling them, not speaking, showing them how to improve the service in your business. I guarantee there's probably not an owner in here that spent 45 minutes training your team today on improving the service. And you won't do it tomorrow, and you won't do it the next day. And that's why your service or your product, the reason why you say, you know what, screw it, I'll just do it myself, because you've given up on actually trying to improve the service and product through your people. And then you no longer own a business. All you have at that point is a job. Sure, you might have your own schedule, be your own boss, great, but you're going to have a ceiling until you learn how to use leverage. Now, if you are getting a little lost or confused right now, when you own a business, I'm going to assume everybody on this call, you started a business not to lose money. And most of you guys started a business, money was part of the deal, but not the only deal. All right. We know we have to make money, but the reality is you probably chose the path you're on because it spoke to you somehow. You're passionate about it. You love the service. You love the product. If you love it, you want it to keep improving. Okay. And if you want it to keep improving, you market to get new people in. You market to the ones you've got to stay or to go deeper, which converts to sales, which is your money. And then you repeat that funnel. That's the cycle that you want to be on. Okay. So what are you going to do if you're behind the game? Tomorrow's Wednesday. You don't need a meeting. You need action. If there's any part of your business unsolved, you're paying a staff, hopefully paying them well. Hopefully you have the right team. Hopefully you're inspiring, pushing them, training them, motivating them. But if they got to put in 3 extra hours tomorrow because you're not making payroll, that's on you. And if you start talking to your team, hey guys, because this is a mistake Aaron made 10 years ago. I don't know how I'm going to pay you guys. Like I started telling my staff that. I was telling them about my stress because I wanted sympathy. I wanted them to feel that I'm putting all this work in. Oh, they saw that we did $50,000 this month and they thought that that's going in my pocket. They don't understand. Well, 10,000 went to supplies, 8,000 went to marketing, 15,000 went to rent and all the fixtures and leaseholds and all the things go with it. Oh, and then I got taxes. Oh, now I can do payroll. Oh, and I get $3,000 for me out of the 50. They didn't see that. They saw the 50 come in. They think I got 50 in my pocket. They want their fair share. So I would vent to my staff, pulling down to try to get sympathy. It backfires. It backfires. Okay. So question, what cycle are you in? Why? And what are you doing to make sure you get out of it? How good are you at training your team? And if you don't know the product really well, that's your fault. You should become a student. Oh, but I work another job. I do this. Shit, Warren Buffett figured it out. Like there's Elon's got it figured out. Like we all got the same amount of time. And I guarantee if you devoted 6 months of your life to deep dive into it, it would pay dividends. So it's not indefinite. There's a period of time. Next, let's go back through staff. If that is your leverage, right now, if it was me and Cameron, okay, if it was me and Cameron starts a company, we got the same amount of money to start a company. Cameron starts a company and he doesn't want to hire anybody. He wants to keep all the money for himself. And I start the company and I hired 10 people. And we both have the same skill and talent on how to manage people. He knows how to manage himself. I know how to manage people. I might not get the right 10 people right off the bat. 3 people are going to be bad. I'm going to have to replace those 3 people, but I'm going to get to 10. I'm going to keep training them, pushing them until I have the right 10. Who's going to get to $1 million first? 100% is going to be me. Because those 10 people can call 100 people a day. Cameron can call 100. I got 1,000 a day to his 100. And going back to that math, if we sell 30% of those people on the same package, like it's going to take him a year to catch up to me. So the alignment conversation. I know some of you guys said you've already done this. Funny thing is my church I show up Sunday in church. They did a preaching or a teaching, I should say, on alignment of their core values. getting the congregation aligned with the core values of the church. I was like, man, like even Cameron's like, did you call them and tell them what to talk about? Because you've been talking about alignment. There's seasons for when you need to get people realigned. First person needs to get realigned is you. What is your vision? What is your goals? Why are you doing this? And you don't need to tout your story all the time, and stories do sell, but what you need is you need to be sold on your story on why you're doing what you're doing, what's important. I'm going to tell you my thing, guys. There's only one reason I want money, is to give it away. Okay. And when I say give it away, I got to take some of my friends out of town this weekend, paid for their hotels, paid for the concert tickets, like great experience for the parts I remember of it. Beyonce got a little crazy on me. Okay. It's a good time. If you saw some white guy dancing half naked in Atlanta, I'm not sure if that was me or not. Okay. First time I actually probably really had alcohol in 8 months really. So it was a good night, I think. I remember playing drums outside half naked in Atlanta. That's what I remember. Good times. But look, all I did is trade a little bit of money, success, for an experience. Okay. For a story. That's the only reason I want success, because everything else is fake. Houses are fake. Nobody needs to live nice like this. Like when you travel abroad, we can get by with so little. We don't need nice cars. We need transportation. Right. And at the end of your life, you don't really give a shit about any of this stuff. So when's the last time you had an alignment conversation with yourself, then with your team? And if you're going to ask your team to go chase some dreams and goals that are actually your dreams and goals, they better see your ass working in there too. They better see you getting up and leaving early. Okay. Cameron lives in my basement most of the time. He's in Florida today. But when he's waking up, Cameron, where am I at when you wake up? Every time you wake up, where am I at?
You're already on the elliptical.
I'm halfway through my workout. He's waking up. Okay. Already listened to my Cardone videos. Already been writing in my journal. And he's like, oh, good morning. I need my coffee. I'm like, shit, you're 25, bro. Let's go. I'm your daddy. Let's go. Okay. All right. Leverage. If you have a staff of 5 and you got one person right now, if I said, take this pen and write down the person that you hate him on your team. He's not moving. She's not moving, not doing anything. They're costing you energy, not just money. They're costing you energy. Have you spent 7 days in a row training this person dedicated to figuring out problem solving? Why? Or you just get caught in that loop. You're in a cycle. And then you're scared. So what can you do to fix the problem? 2, how much investment have you had in that person? And then 3, why would you not speed up the timeline? Why am I going to wait 7 days, 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years of someone bleeding me out? Okay. I remember one of you guys who are on this call right now. I remember visiting right at the very beginning. We started working together. I'm like, these people got to go. Right? They ain't right. You can make it work, but they ain't right. And this is where you got to either lean into your fear or you got to lean into success, because you're either going to be forced to deal with the problem down the road and it gets bigger. You guys remember as a kid, you didn't want to tell your dad the truth, tell your mom the truth. Shit, when they found out you lied to them, that was the worst part of it. Not the thing that if you'd just been honest with them, it wasn't that big of a deal. Okay. So how serious are you? I'm hoping somebody's taking some damn notes right now. Because if you just listen to me preach, y'all can just put on a YouTube video. How serious are you about taking care of your family? Okay. All right, how serious? Let's see who I got on here. Come on, I need a volunteer here. Let's go. No, I can't do Matthew because he already knows this. Let's go. I'll let you'll come on, you can role play with me real quick. You're in my camera scene. Can you unmute yourself?
What's up, Coach?
Good morning, sir. Afternoon, good evening, good night, all the above. You about to have some sleepless nights. You got 2 or 3 weeks to go, right?
Yes, sir.
So you're about to be a dad for the first time. Let me ask you a question. How serious are you about taking care of your family?
Very, very serious.
Okay. So your business is making more money. I'm assuming you're putting some of that money away, right?
Should be, but I've invested it all back into the business.
Okay. So well, that's the same way you're trying to grow the money. So,
Right.
you have a life insurance policy?
I do, 2 of them.
Good. Okay. When you die, where are you going to be buried?
Talked about this today.
I know that's why I'm putting you on the spot here because I know you know the conversation.
I don't know yet.
Don't know yet. Okay. What's your wife going to do with the business when you die?
Either give it to one of the people that work for me or I'll close it.
Does she know this?
No, sir, because we talked about it today.
Right. So my point is, guys, everybody hear me? And I'm telling you right now, this is the problem Aaron has. If I happen today, my wife's going to get some life insurance, but she don't know a lot of the shit that needs to happen. Everybody with me? If you're serious about taking your family, you guys think it's about money to make sure everything's covered. But what happens? You get in that car wreck, right? Cameron's still a newlywed. He's fixing to celebrate 1 year. Matter of fact, this is how dedicated my guys are. He's going to spend his 1 year anniversary working for one of you guys at your schools while I don't know, his wife might be partying with my family. I don't know where she'll be. All right. But she won't be celebrating with him, maybe. Okay. That's dedication and commitment because it's a day. Okay. And he's trying to build a life. But what happens if Cameron gets in a hit by a bus? We don't want that to happen. But like when you're newlywed, you don't have a lot. You don't even think about it then. If you're intentional about where you're going in life, you get serious about stuff a lot quicker. Okay. So I want to ask everybody, what is your exit plan for your business? Because you know you're going to exit life at some point. What is your exit plan for your business? And where's your intent for it? Exit could be selling, closing, transferring, pulling people in for equity. You know, where's your plan for that? If you don't have a plan for it, if you don't have a plan for an exit, you're going to get in one of those cycles. And you're going to start making sense of, man, I made $1 million in my business last year and I put 250 in my pocket. Great. I did 1 million again this year. Great. I did 1 million again this year. And everybody's like, man, that's awesome. You've created sustainability. Boom. And then COVID happens. And because you weren't staying in the hunt, you don't have the skill to ramp up the energy. And then a guy like me who's on the hunt, on the growth, doubles in size, then doubles in size, and doubles in size. Because the creative muscle stays warmed up. If you've ever lifted weights or ran, either one, and you did it for a whole year straight, then you stop for a year and get back to it. If anybody's ever had that happen, you know how hard it is to get started back. But if you would have just kept it going, even if you missed a day or two, but kept the engines going, it's easy to keep it fired up. So if you don't have an exit plan where you can backwards engineer to what you have to do today, then you might not be really intentional about where your business is going because you think it's going to stay wherever. And if you're trying to do a 3 or 10% improvement every year, you're not even keeping up with inflation anymore. So you go from 1 million to 1.1, right? To 1.1 to 1.3. Why would you ever want to do that? Why not go from 1 million to 2 million? 2 million to 4 million? That sounds a lot more exciting. Today, I talked to a real estate agent, guys. Okay. Today, I talked to a real estate agent. This is crazy. I have no idea how the hell. This is probably not going to happen. But there's an $8.5 million home that I found on Zillow dreaming that me and Emma and Cameron and my wife were looking at a month ago. It's on an island in Louisville, which is like Louisville, whatever you want to call it, like across here, $8.5 million. It's on this little island. It's a tiny house. It's only like 3 bedrooms, smaller than the house I live in. Ugly house. My house is 10 times nicer, but it's on its own damn island. God dang, how cool would that be? All you guys be coming over. $8.5 million. Okay. They dropped it 30% today to 5.9 million. Does anybody want to know what happened after that? Anybody want to know what happened? Nobody's curious, huh?
Let's
I
go.
want to know because we talked about it.
Okay. You saw the house. Sick.
I bet it got an offer.
Well, it's getting there. Your Victor's getting there, and we're getting there. Here's the question. Why would someone go from 8.5 to 5.9? That's the question that came to my mind. What happened? Well, a new client who happens to be the youth pastor at the church I'm at, came and visited me yesterday and went at the office, who's getting in the real estate game. He wants me to help him make more in real estate. I sent him a text, hey, go get me the data of this. Let me ask these questions. I says, call the agent, ask these questions. Come to find out, it's been owned by one family since 2004. They've had 2 mortgages on the house because they got a mortgage to buy the land, the mortgage to build a house on it. It's been a while since that mortgage was put on there. They priced it high, trying to take advantage of the market, overpriced it. They brought it back down that low. 30% reduction is pretty damn strong when you're at 8.5 because they're an older couple and one of the two is having some health concerns and could be dying, and the other one's freaking out and wants to downsize super fast. Now, when you're looking for opportunities, there needs to be some distress. This family is in distress. They're at their exit in life. Guys, guess what? It's going to happen to all of us. It's going to happen to all of us. So you might as well get intentional about it. So I am getting creative about offering a terms offer that will make sense for me, that could make sense for them. Of course, they could say no. And I'm going to try to do it with basically no money. What's the worst that's going to happen? They say no. Okay. But the idea that someone could be creative enough to go try to buy a $6 million house that nobody in the world needs, that I don't even have the money to do because they're in a need. They need some capital to go move to the next property. And I know what she probably knows too, is she doesn't want $6 million at one time. Anybody know how much money she keeps?
3 million?
She potentially could dump into a real estate, 1031, pay none right now, defer it, but she don't want to buy a $6 million property. There's not another $6 million property. She's going to want to buy something for 1.1 or 1.2. Oh, and she wants to downsize, which probably means a condo in damn Florida. She's going to go hang out with Victor. That's where she's going. Okay. So you'd rather get money over a period of time, mitigate your taxes, and not take a heavy burden. I know this, and that person's going to be smart enough that they have that kind of house to know that as well too. Okay. 2 businesses got an offer or got documentation signed by me so I can make an offer. Same situation. 2 restaurants. They make about $2.4 million a year in gross revenue, $275,000 in profit, about a 10% margin, a little bit more. They want to sell it for $900K. Probably a little bit overpriced based on the numbers. Another one is a cigar and cocktail bar. Every single day, I'm trying to tell you guys, because now I know it's leverage. I'll get the right people in place. I don't need to make $1 million worth of business. I need to know people, process, systems, and leverage. Business we're starting with our meal prep company. We're going to launch 2 companies inside the walls at one time. All these ideas I'm telling you guys, they're all going to have an exit plan from the beginning. All right, last 2 things. Then we'll do a quick Q&A. Okay, so leverage. Hopefully you guys know how to use it and understand it. If you are failing in your business, right now, guys, everybody in the karate business right now, it should be impossible not to do $1,000 a day. Should be impossible. Cameron went to Vegas, I think, in June. That school did almost 50, I think right at 50K in June, 50K in July. It's 2 girls in there, employees, 1 salesperson, 1 instructor. And one of the ladies texted me today is like overwhelmed. They got so much stuff going on. They don't have it. Like they need to hire another salesperson is what they feel like. It's great energy going on there. Okay. To the point it's like busting at the seams. It's just doing the right things, being pressured and pushed because everyone needs coaching and pushing. So as an owner, your duty is to make sure to get out your own way sometimes. Don't get in your head and understand you pay people. They are a form of leverage. That's the weights. Okay. They're the pulley system. And the best do train the most. So where are you training them, holding them accountable? And if we're giving you guys content and information, like, and honestly, I wouldn't question too much until you've proven that something's not working. Because it doesn't work when you don't commit all the way to it fully. Okay. All right. So if you knew you had 100 people you called and can sell 30% of that, what would your offer be? Like, are you guys thinking creative like that? If I needed money fast, I'm going to figure out a price point I feel I can get from everybody. Maybe it's $1,200, $1,500. If I'm going to close 30 people at $200 a month for 12 months, or I need cash fast, $1,500 right now. And then you use, just like he was talking about, to leverage to buy more money. You got to take money to buy more money, not to pay your bills, because the bills are still going to be there. Okay. All right. The reason why guys, business owners get burnt out and give up and quit is because they're trying to do everything themselves. Oh, my staff can't do it. I'll just do it myself. Your staff can't do it because they haven't been trained. You thought their resume was their training. It's not. Better is better than new. The hell does he mean? Better is better than new. A lot of you guys, when we're talking, you keep wanting to come up with a new way to do something. How about just get better at the thing you're doing? Do that first, right? If I change my diet all the damn time, I don't know if I'm actually getting any results. But if I just improve what I'm doing, okay, improve it, meaning it could be the quality or the quantity of the food. It might not actually, like, I got to go keto today and I'm gonna do this version to, like, if you don't keep something going, you don't know if it's measurable. I'm gonna do this marketing thing over here, then I'm gonna try this over here, then I'm gonna do this over here. How about just get better at the one thing? Before I launch 4 different programs inside my business, why not just get better at the one thing first instead of just adding a bunch of new stuff? Okay, so better is better than new. And then you can add the new thing. In the martial arts business, guys, I started with one marketing play to build my whole company. For the first 12 months, I did one thing. I did a booth once a week, got leads, brought them to a Saturday workshop, signed them up. That's what I did for a year. My first one, 14 leads at a Walmart booth. 11 people showed up. I signed up 11. That was my first. Then I did it again. Guess what? I got damn good at it. My best one ever, 66 people in one day. That was my best. Okay. Then last, I'm going to finish with this, and then anybody wants to do Q&A with me, Cameron, and Travis. When you guys go to an event in September, you should get your whole damn team there. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. Close your doors. Okay. And if you're going to go to training, go to training that's going to actually be the kind of training people need. The one in November is for your whole team and for you. We're going to plan out your 2024 for success, guest speakers. We're going to celebrate the pain and the joy of what 2023 was. Okay. Those are the last 2 events for the year. Listen to me. When you go to an event, if you go there and you hear all this great information, you take a bunch of notes, you get back and you're at the same damn place 3 months later, you just took your money, lit it on fire, and then you added travel to it. If you go to an event and you're like, I don't care about the workshop, I don't want to go hang out with these people and talk and brag about how big my dick is. I got 200 students, I got 250 students. Ain't nobody give a shit about that. Because that's what karate people do. I got 300 students. Yeah, okay. I got money in the bank. How about that? Okay, how about we measure that? You want to pull that out? Let's do that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. What you should go to an event for is not to be seen. You should go to an event for pen, paper, take notes, get knowledge, execute, because that's what's going to win. I remember sitting in the course one time, hearing an idea. I executed during the event. None of my colleagues did it for 3 years. How's Aaron doing $4 million a year? Because you're still charging $100 a month. You didn't execute. So if you don't have an intent to learn, okay, or maybe you're smarter than that and you do have an intent to learn, but your behavior doesn't change, okay, if your behavior doesn't change, why? Why did you go? If your behavior is not going to change, you get new information, better information, and you have intent to learn, which is why you show up somewhere, you take your team somewhere, and your behavior doesn't change, you think you already know it all? Are you the problem? Right? So I give you guys a lot of questions for you to deep dive. These calls are designed on Tuesday nights to get this turning a little bit. So when you do your one-on-one, Matt and Joe are asking me quality questions all the time. Okay. Let's do a Q&A. Mr. Cameron, you start us off. Anybody got a question?
Yeah, I got one question for you. So going back to staff, and you kind of already talked about this, but just kind of going back to your team and, offering them that training, what if you have a staff member that might be a little resistant to that training? Like kind of like we just said, they kind of have the mindset of they've got it, they know it all, right? And they resist that training that you're trying to offer and give them. Like, how do you handle that situation?
Okay, so first, some of you guys have heard me say this before. I always had a culture inside my business where I told my staff, hey guys, the business is designed to serve the people. And my duty to the client, the people, the customer, is to put the best people working in front of them. Right now, that's you guys. I hope in the future you grow into being the better person, because better is better than new. And if you don't grow, then I owe it to my people to get better people. So one, having a culture. So they understand people are coming into your business to go to the next level, right? And if I got a team member resistance to growth, resisting to training, resisting to actually getting better, one, I'm going to try to get alignment. I should have seen some red flags in the hiring process. I didn't probably ask the right questions. I was too desperate to get a team member there. But if I'm already got them on the team, I'm going to try to get realignment. I'm going to set a target and a deadline. They're either on the same page with me by a certain time, or there's a divorce, AKA kill, murder, death. We call that fire. Whew, brutal. Why would I want to fire somebody? Because I got to protect my business. Because I owe it to my customer to make sure they got the best people in front of them. So I'm going to work on alignment. I'm going to figure out why they're resistant. Most of the time, it's a fear. And if I cannot get them on the same page, I have to make a replacement. I don't care how big, how much money they make you. And you'll actually feel better once that happens. Most of the time, it's a burden. You're scared. You'll feel better. All right. Cardone University. I'm going to tell you real quick, guys. The reason why I liked it is because I got a report every day. I still get this report when you guys do it and don't do it. Actually, most of you guys don't do it. Most of you guys are too scared to train, or you're inconsistent. It's like a diet. You'll do it for a week and you give up on your goals. I mean, I'm on this thing 7 years. I'm on it every day. I'm on it more than anybody. I mean, like, I liked it because as soon as I saw, that person missed 4 days in a row, they're checked out. Hey, Cameron, why are you missing your videos? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Okay. I don't know. Okay. So understand, if you don't put things in place and hold people accountable, people are going to be normal. They're going to be average. They're going to slip back. Even you guys slip back. Okay. All right. Who's next up?
Got Travis.
Let's roll, baby.
Yes, sir. So if you've never hired someone before, you don't have a real training program in place, you've always been the technician yourself. Like, how do you start? Where do you start? What would you do?
First, vision, goals, purpose of why you're doing the business. Why would anybody want to be the only employee in their company? Okay. You got to be honest with yourself. So one, if that person's working with me, I'm going to help them be honest with themselves, because most people are scared. And that's the reason why they were not going to do it. They're scared. They don't know how to get there. They've tried. It didn't work, whatever. So first, why would you want to have your job be a job and that's it? Because that's not a business owner. Okay. Like Kevin's on this call right now. He does private cooking, right, meals. That's a job. If he chops his arm off in an accident, that's going to suck. Obviously, he won't like that, but like, he don't have no money coming in. He'd be a one-armed man. Okay. Maybe he can figure it out. So there's a limit. There's a gate. The reason why people won't scale is because that's not their wheelhouse. And that means they have to give up some control to get to that. And that's what freaks people out. Warren Buffett doesn't have control in everything. He don't even know everything going on in his company. Neither does Elon. But to get to Mars, Elon's got to trust a lot of people. That's called leverage. So one, I have to come to grips with my vision, my purpose, my passion. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Once I get that laid out, then the math makes sense. The only way to actually get to where you're trying to get to on a level of scale, when you're honest and not bullshitting yourself, It's going to take people. So you figure out, honestly, what you're not good at and what you are good at. And you need to hire for the things that you need to give up control in. If you're not good at sales, quit trying to do the sales, give it up. Right? But make sure you know enough to be able to hold someone accountable and put them in the right. Don't just give up control. Oh, that guy knows sales. I don't like it. You just go do it. You got to still dominate your business, understand the role. If you're not good, whatever it is in your role, like if Kevin wasn't good at marketing and advertising and whatever, but he's great at the cooking, then he needs to hire the rest of those people and he needs to do what he's great at. And that's for all of us, no matter what the business is. Most businesses fail because the owner's trying to wear 7 hats. Most of you guys on this call right now are trying to wear 7, 8 hats, and you're only good at one of them, if you're good at one. So I would start with what's going to move the needle that takes it off my plate because I know I'm holding my business back. And to get one good person, guys, you're going to go through 10. Second, you need to get where you stop hiring people and you start attracting people to you. You want to be in a space where people are, they just want to be around you. All right. I talked to a guy today. He's going to have dinner with my wife and I next week. This guy's done some great things in his life, written some books. He just wants to be around me right now. The guy yesterday came to my office, just wants to be around me right now. They don't even work for me yet. They just want to be in my circle. They want to know, like, what's this guy doing? Right? That's where the conversation starts. You got to start being known. And if you're scared, you're an introvert, you got to face some of those demons and get out there. Otherwise, go work for Travis. Okay? And he can push on you. Who else? Who else we got? Everybody got scared. Matthew,
I saw another hand up earlier, but it went down.
you know what happens? You don't use the right pills, it goes down fast. So you got to be ready for it. Or you got a hot wife and it helps too. So either way. All right. I'm going to finish up with this, guys. September events coming up. Make sure you guys drop in there. Cameron and Travis are filming videos this week. So your staff will have videos when they leave. They get a lot of the content sent to them. I'm doing some of those videos as well too. We're focusing on how to have a great product on the floor in a martial arts school. That is the focus there. November is not martial arts focused. November is actually focused on selling, advertising, marketing, leveraging, storytelling, okay? And how do you plan and control 2024? And if you do $500,000 this year, you should do $1 million next year. If you don't try for a double, something's wrong with you, okay? And I'm going to tell you guys, if you're serious about protecting your business, protecting your family, you got to plan your exit. Exit could be owning it and manage. It could be exiting the role you're in. It could be turned, like Travis was talking about, it could be exiting from you doing all the roles and let somebody come in and do one of the ones you're not good at. And if you're making the same money you made last year, that does not sound like a fun life. Okay, it seems like you're trying to play it a little too safe. And everybody I know that plays it safe sometimes gets bit in the ass. This guy has an $8.5 million home. God's trying to call him home. Got to drop it at 6. Panic. Probably didn't plan something right. Right? And that's called the stress. We all have it coming for us. It's all like something's going to kill us. And you don't know when. Something's going to kill your business and you don't know when. Okay? There is a cycle to that as well too. So when's the last time you got a line on why you're doing what you're doing? When's the last time you train on some skill set, not just listen to me bitch at you? You actually train. And when you're asking questions, if you keep asking me the same questions over and over again, okay, why is the behavior not changing? Hopefully you guys took some notes. Hopefully you got some great quality questions to ask Travis, myself, and Cameron. Get your staff on the call on Thursday. And when you have for you guys who are accountability clients, you got your staff in these calls, let us be hard on them, but you be harder because you're paying for that leverage. All right. You guys have a great Tuesday taco night. We'll see you guys on the call Thursday. Peace out, guys.